Last season, Glasgow won a hard-earned district title, beating the likes of Greene County and Monroe County to claim a #1 seed, but the Scotties would sputter in the playoffs.
The Scotties were upset in the first round of the Class 2A playoffs by 4-seeded Fort Knox, ending Glasgow's season prematurely. The team hasn't forgotten about that game and is determined not to let it happen again in 2011. And joining us on the Sports Connection is the head coach of the Glasgow Scotties, Rick Wood. Coach, appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you.
Coach, first off, you got a new logo here on the helmet, and when we talked earlier, you went you going old school.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, something the kids and I talked about, and we thought it might change our luck injury-wise, so maybe keep us healthy at the end of the year. But we like it, the kids like it, and we're excited about it.
Now, Coach, I bring up that first-round playoff loss last year because you guys bring it up today, even today. When I was up there a couple weeks ago, I asked you about it, and it's something that you're using as a learning tool. Just talk about what you guys discuss when you think about last year.
Well, we were really proud of the year we had in terms of the district play. Monroe County, Greene County, two tough teams that was kind of an obstacle for us at the point, because if you look in the last 4 or 5 years, both of those teams have been very, very successful, not only in the district but in region play. And we wanted to win that district championship, and maybe we put too much emphasis on it. Now that I look back, that was just a big key point for us. We were able to do that. We got banged up a little bit at the end of the year and just didn't play a typical game that night for whatever reason, and we had turnovers, and we just did a lot of things that night that were so uncharacteristic of the season that we had had. So, we carried it with us into the weight room. Every time I felt like we were getting a little bit full of ourselves, you just say 30 to 28, and everybody would go right back to work. So a lot of times you have to be reminded of your failures in order to get those things corrected.
Coach, talk a little bit about, injuries and last year kind of plagued you a little bit, but talk about the depth that you have this year with this team and how that's going to obviously help you down the stretch.
Well, we're experienced in a lot of areas, especially offensively. We return a lot of really key skill kids, and that kind of makes it easy to, we've got a quarterback back starting for 3 years, Hunter, tremendous tight end starting for 3 years. That aids your running game because he's a really good blocker. It aids your passing game because he's got 50 career catches, which is an extremely high number for a tight end. Then you've got Jalen Sublett, LaJuan Smith back, Josh Pointer, Ryan Saltzman have started on the offensive line. So that was a good starting point. So we've plugged in those areas that we felt like that we needed to. Our sophomores are really deep, and that's where a lot of our depth will hopefully come from. And we're going to use our scrimmage and the early games to try to develop that depth.
Specifically with Parker, your quarterback, it's a rarity in high school that you get a 3-year starter who's going to be his senior year, obviously being his third season. How valuable is it to have someone at the quarterback position to be that experienced coming into a senior year like this?
Well, it's really valuable. If I really don't get a play in, it's no big deal. He kind of knows what to do, and he's going to be able to, take it over. A lot of times I'll look at him and I'll just do this, and I know somebody thinks that's something complicated, and it's like, call it, Parker. And I feel like as long as the ball's in his hands, Hunter's hands, Jalen's hands, LaJuan's hands, and Hunter Botts is going to be a threat carrying the ball some for us this year. So with our skilled kids, it's really not that big a deal.
What's interesting with Parker is the fact that it's not like it took him a while to get started at quarterback. He's got nearly 4,000 all-purpose yards, 40 touchdowns between the running and the passing. So here's a young man that, maybe didn't have a lot of experience going into your program as quarterback, but certainly didn't take long to figure it out.
Well, to me, every day or a lot of days after practice, and I don't even say anything, but Hunter, LaJuan, Jalen, and Parker, after everybody gets finished running, they get their water, they go into the lift, they're going to stay after and work on their timing. And I think those extra reps that they got together, plus they've been together for a long time, has really helped them. They'll stay after and they'll work on their routes, they'll work on the timing of certain plays that we have. And, they're really good players, and they work at their game.
Coach, we have a graphic of your schedule for this season, if we can go ahead and put that up. It starts obviously with the C.J. Sampson Bowl, as it does every year. You play Todd County Central this year. Some tough games at Bullitt Central in Week 2. You've got the crosstown rival with Barron County Week 3. ACS, who is just coming off a state final appearance. Monroe County, former district foe. And then in the second half, you've got Somerset, who is always a strong power in whatever class they're in. And then you've got Greene County and Elizabethtown also. So you guys, even out of district, you guys have set yourself up pretty well with some tough games.
Well, we felt like, when you look at the area we're in now, it's really changed in football.
Yeah.
We're opposite now DeSales out of Louisville, really physical team. Louisville Christian Academy is really physical, and we felt like, if we can stay healthy, we may lose some games during the regular season, but we felt like that would have us battle tested so that when we get in those tough games in November, hopefully with DeSales, a Greene County rematch or whatever, that we'll be ready.
Talk about that rivalry that's developed the past couple years with Greene County. It was a 1-point game last year. And if you look ahead, it looks like you guys too we're probably going to be the front runners for the district this year.
Well, Coach Griffiths has done a nice job at Greene County. They take a really unique approach. I mean, not a unique approach, but they try to be really tough. They try to bully you. There's no other way to say it. I mean, that's kind of their mojo when they go on the field, is they're going to try to bully you. And our response to that is we're going to bully the bully. And that's kind of the way we come back at them last year. We said, guys, it doesn't matter what we do, scheme-wise, it doesn't matter what we do. If we don't match their intensity and their physical play, they'll run you off the field. And we were able to do that. And our kids are really excited about it because we know Greene County's a top 5 team, and we know if we can play with them, we feel like we can play with anybody.
Is that an easy thing to coach, as far as the intensity? Basically, if they hit you, you hit them back harder. I mean, I think your upperclassmen get that, the seniors. But is that a hard thing to instill in these kids that you got to get up in it?
I was really proud last year because Monroe County's really physical. Allen County, I mean, a lot of teams we play, even Barron County, really physical football team. So, we felt like that was the area. We're talented, we're skilled, but we better be able to, bloody some noses also. And we felt like that we were able to do that.
Before you go, Coach, obviously I mentioned the T.J. Sampson Bowl. You're playing Todd County Central this year. It's a thing that Barron and Glasgow do every year. How much do you enjoy playing on that first Saturday as opposed to that Friday?
I really like it because our kids, it's just, you go through all the summer practices and you get tired of beating on each other, but you kind of got a situation where you're doing something unique. And everybody that plays on Friday night is going to come and watch you play on Saturday. Yeah. There's 4 teams there, 2 games, and it's kind of like when I was here at Central getting to play in the Rafferty's Bowl. It's just kind of an extra edge, something extra for your kids and your program.
Coach, pleasure as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
much.
We'll
see you on the field.
Thank you.
Time for a quick break, but stick around. You're watching the Sports Connection on WBKO.